Hello everybody, my name is Benji and welcome back to Dyson Sphere program, where today we're going to be starting off by looking at something a little different. This is my Steam homepage, by the way, which, I guess makes sense, but we're specifically going to be looking at this right here. There is a combat system trailer for Rise of the Dark Fog. Combat is going to be coming to Dyson Sphere program, and this is something that they have been kind of teasing in the patch notes for a while, as well as the late September logic item hub. It's all in Korean because the game is based in Korea, and they are doing a fantastic job with all of the translation. I think there was one thing that was still in Korean, the something or other monitor. I never use it. I've never used it, but there was a part of that that was still in Korean once upon a time. So they've been doing a good job with translating everything to English. They have a really good translation department, and they just do a great job with the game. So give them some support, I guess. I'll link the video down in the description, and we'll get there in a second. But they've been teasing the combat system since at the latest June 24th. And we finally have some more information on it in the form of this trailer right here. Which I'm not going to play the entirety of the trailer. I'm just going to skip through to some of the more highlighty bits of it, I guess. Like I said, the entire trailer will be in the description if you want to go check it out. There's no audio. Why is there no audio? Hang on a second. Alright, I got it working now. Yeah, I got the audio working now. Obviously, work in progress.
Galaxy locked. Execute migration program.
So essentially there is this evil entity directly opposing us. As you know, we work for
Seed migration
Center Brain. Our job is to produce energy to process the enhanced computations
Galaxy
of
scanning.
I'll pause this for a second, of an entire system of humanity that has gone entirely digital. They've uploaded their minds into a digital space, and that digital space requires computation power that we are required to provide through the construction of Dyson spheres. That's like the entire point of this, is to harvest our local system for energy, essentially. And these guys, the Dark Fog, directly oppose us, from what I can gather. Love the new tease music, by the way.
Activity. No. Threat level. No.
So it looks like they send out these
Evaluation
probes.
result. Replication procedure allowed.
And the probes find planets that are not being utilized, and then utilizes those planets, just like we do, but in direct opposition to us. And it looks like they have some turrets, like, I'll go back a couple of seconds here. It looks like they've got, like, these turret thingies here. These look like turrets. I don't know if they're just spines. These look like power nubs. These look like turrets. This looks like a communication hub of sorts. And obviously they've got their own little, like, drones and crap flying around. But some of these look like weapon stations.
Defensive unit assembly.
That's a black hole in the background. And then they've got these, like, fleet ship things that they're planning on. Pretty sure this whole video is just going to be about the update, by the way. I don't think we're actually going to get to the game today. Depending on time. How much I talk.
Assembly complete.
So they essentially just build and replicate and expand, just like we do, but in direct opposition to us. So I'll go on ahead and I'll show this bit if I can get to it. No, not this bit.
Logical activity detected.
There we go. So they send out probes and they see us.
Assessment in progress.
And depending on where we are at a certain stage in the game, they think of us not as a threat, essentially. And we can go and, like, look at them and
comparing Physical data.
we're just kind of,
Characterization.
yeah, classified as mecha, possible link to center brain. We're considered to not be a threat until we get to a certain point,
Mecha energy level is increasing.
which is shown here.
Mecha energy level is increasing. Mecha dangerous activity. Building Dyson sphere. Threat level 5. This mecha is extremely threatening to our hive.
So what it looks like to me is once you get to a point where you are building Dyson spheres and you are late game, extreme late game, about to beat the game, or have already unlocked achievement complete with the 4000 white science in order to unlock that, they start to get angry and see us as a threat. And instead of being blue and in a state of like monitoring, they start going all crazy, and then this happens.
Threat level assessment. Max.
So this just goes through
Destruction program.
and is like, yeah, destruction program, go in.
Initiating destruction
You can die as a mecha, like you can get shot down, apparently. We're gonna have turrets, laser turrets. There's one thing I want to show off here. It's about to happen. There we go. So they have like a laser beam projectile, something or other, that they shoot out. But you can see it's like hitting the planet and causing these blue little sphere ripples. Those are not explosions. At least not explosions on the ground. That, oh, I just passed away from it. Let's see if it'll do it again for me, please. No. Ah, it's a shield. Like there's a shield around the planet that they're not getting through. And I want to know what that is. I also want to know if this is gonna, like, kill my save file. But there is some good news to this. Even if it does kill my save file when it comes out, the glorious thing is the fact that this update will not be released until 2023. They originally had plans to be releasing it late 2022, but at the end, the lead developer, I forget what he says his name is, this guy, tells us, we want to make sure it's polished, we want to make sure that it is doing the most efficient thing that it can possibly do, so we're postponing the update until 2023. And a couple of other Dyson Sphere YouTubers, or at the very least a Dyson Sphere YouTuber, Nilaus is great, by the way, he gives me a lot of inspiration for my blueprint sharing and my sheets and everything. It's 100% going to be worth the wait, at least in my opinion. It's going to be worth the wait as well. But essentially, he goes into talking a little bit about the optimizations of the game and everything else, and I will let you guys go and just experience that on your own. And it looks like we do have a little bit of time, so I'm going to hop over to the game, and we are going to continue with our project. Alright, so picking up where we left off, last time I went through how fast you can go through all of your blueprint placement, given that you have actually done the preparation in the past with all of the numbers and done the number crunching. You can just place down blueprints willy-nilly, super quick, and have exactly what you want. So now, moving on from there, I can show off a little bit of the speed for some of the other things that we need to do, which for our antimatter fuel rods and for our space warpers for these guys, we are going to need quantum chips, which are a pain in the butt, and we're going to need a lot of processing for the quantum chips elsewhere. But right now, we just need to do the processor portion of things. And for the antimatter fuel rod, annihilation constraint spheres, processors, and particle containers. Now, I'm pretty sure that I do have a 3-to-1 that doesn't utilize anything super crazy. No, that's a 2-to-1. What do I have that's a 3-to-1 that's just you know, not interstellar logic station. Actually, I think everything I have that's 3-to-1 is an interstellar logic station now that I think about it. But I'm essentially just going to repurpose one of these again. Shocker. I'm going to repurpose a 3-to-1 blueprint because I already have a whole bunch of 3-to-1 blueprints. That's a crazy, crazy concept. Again, to repurpose, you just go in, place the blueprint, clear it for your purposes, and the particle containers require graphene, electromagnetic turbines, copper. Yep. Completely arbitrary numbers still, because I don't know why. I don't know why, I just do, okay? They like my 3000 and my other one. Now, this one is going to be remote supply because the particle containers are going to be exported off-world to both of the places that they need to go. So they are going to be this. We'll go on ahead and jack that up. That's probably good as is. I'm sure it is, actually. Are any of these in particularly higher demand than anything else? No, they're actually all equal, so it really does not matter which one we make the double output and which one we make the not double output. So that is also completely arbitrary. Also, that's probably going to mess things up, and I'm hoping it doesn't mess things up too much. We're not using the alternate recipe with the unipolar magnets, just because I don't really feel like harvesting another black hole slash whatever. And there we go. We have particle containers. So that is another blueprint taken care of. Particle containers, done. Now, all we need to do on this planet is essentially one of each of these. So for the processors, we're going to need one processor, and then the quantum chips will be on a different world because we need the Casimir crystals, and that's just too much to do right here. So we're going to do that elsewhere. But we're also going to need circuit boards. And we do only need one of these systems, so I'm just going to find a spot where it works, and I'm going to place it, put in the drones, because the drones do good work. Perfect. And that blueprint, I'm pretty sure I wrote the production rate. Yeah, 30 per second. I don't think we need anywhere near that. Yeah, we need 8 for that, and for the antimatter fuel rods, we need 2.5 processors. We need 5, so we need 13 total, which is, yeah, absolutely nothing. So really, the quantum chips is where we start getting into the stuff that's annoying. And then for the processors, how many does this do? I didn't even check. I should have checked before I double-clicked it. 20 per second. And like I said, we need 4 and 2.5 per second. So this is perfect as is. What am I missing? Ugh, inserters. I'm gonna have to go back to the hub world for the inserters. That's annoying. It's always annoying to go all the way back somewhere just for inserters. But it is what it is, and it'll be fine. It's just annoying. And then the main concern for today is the antimatter fuel rods. So next up is going to be the annihilation constraint spheres, as well as the antimatter, which comes from the critical photons, which I will be designing a 150 ray receiver blueprint for. Also, update on the Dyson sphere for this one. There it is. That's how it's looking. The frame is coming along nicely. Obviously, the very, very lovely blueprint that I made for the small carrier rockets is working wonderfully. For some odd reason, this stopped working. For now, I guess it reached a certain point in its orbital period where it doesn't like it very much, but I guess it'll fix itself eventually. Oh yeah, microcrystalline components. Those are probably important if we're going to be using a gold chip production on this planet, right? That's partially important, isn't it? So let's find ourselves a nice spot for these. There. And again, I'm gonna need more inserters, but I'll mess with that off camera. And then, honestly, for the Annihilation Constraint Spheres are just a 2 input, 1 output. And for this, we only need 33 machines, 2.5 per second. So I'm just going to do the 2 input, 1 output processor blueprint, and I'm just going to repurpose it. So I'll do that on the other planet and get this all flowing in the meantime. And I will bring you guys back in when we are designing the ray receiver blueprint. And maybe the antimatter fuel rod blueprint? Because we need 40 assemblers for that? I don't know. We will find out. I'll be back soon. Love you guys. So there was one part of this that I neglected to mention / take into account, and that is the fact that our ray receiver blueprint requires graviton lenses, and the graviton lenses require strange matter and diamonds. Diamonds are already taken care of on the smelting world. We have the diamond blueprints, we have diamonds ready to go. So I can head, where are they? Here, and request them. Just like that. And we're good to go. Also, yeah, Annihilation Constraint Spheres. They are all set and ready to go. Perfect. So, the strange matter. Strange matter is a bit of a weird one because of the fact that it requires a particle collider, and it is 1 every 8 seconds. So 8 machines gets me 1 per second, in addition to the fact that we need deuterium. And deuterium is, as we all are aware, a pain in the butt. So I don't want to use any of this nice valuable space where there's no nodes whatsoever, like right here. There's like no nodes, it's perfect. But the blueprint is also huge, and I don't have the kind of foundations here for the blueprint. So we're probably going to end up doing it like right over here or something. Our lovely deuterium blueprint, which is absolutely massive. I forget how large this thing is sometimes. Like, I don't know if I'll have room for this blueprint. Nuts. So our alternative is we process all of our deuterium like we were planning over here anyway on the ice field, because of the fact that we have an almost 100% construction area, and I'm sure that we won't need a lot of these here. And then ship the deuterium from there to here. Another alternative is we just have space warpers and have it harvesting deuterium from, you know, gas giants that we have all across the galaxy, I guess you could call it. I don't really know how I'm going to do that just yet, but I do know that strange matter is a 3 input, 1 output, so it's going to need a logic station anyway, and it's going to need some space. So I'm going to do that right here, I suppose. Wouldn't be the worst place for it. We'll go on ahead and put it here for now, and then grab ourselves our lovely production miniature particle collider, and we're going to need a little bit of space to get to here. Perfect. And then obviously set the inputs and outputs, so iron, particle containers, and something else. Where even is there? Deuterium. I was just talking about the one thing that's annoying. There we go. And then iron. It should probably actually be deuterium. Although I think in order to get, what do we need? 2 per second, it's 20 deuterium. And actually, you know what? Now I think about it, do we have one that's 2 per second? We do. We already have one that's 2 per second. So I can literally just take this, I can repurpose it with interstellar logic hubs and blue belts. So let's do that. Why not? Why not? Why the heck would we not do that, right? Right? Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. For us to just do this. Do it like this. And then get rid of all of you, because we're just gonna completely get rid of you. Snip all the belts. What am I at recording time-wise? 20 minutes, alright, we're nearing the end cap of everything. We're gonna get rid of these outer belts for obvious reasons, because I don't want to deal with them. Neither of those placed the way that I want, but that's fine. And interstellar logic hub right here. Same thing, iron, particle container, deuterium, strange matter. And then upgrade belts. Perfect. Iron, particle container, deuterium. Iron, particle container, deuterium. And then there. Yeah, all the way around, I guess. Why not? Not really a problem with that at all. Yes, there. Bring it in. And then what? Here, like here? Maybe? That work? There. That'll work. And then we can grab our belts, sorters, and our area select. Make sure all of these guys are nice and up to date. Apparently there's power missing, which is odd. But I can just slap some random power poles. Why not? And I think that'll be good. Looks a little odd. Some of it looks very odd. And I'm unsure as of why. Why are these being weird? I don't know why these are being weird. Give me a hot sec to figure this out, because otherwise I'm gonna run out of time. And then I'll just, we already have graviton lenses, I'll repurpose it, and then we'll get on to the actual ray receiver part of the blueprint before I run over my half hour. Blah! Okay. That's taken care of. Deuterium, I'm using half the setup, which means I'm getting a less than half the setup, which means that I'm getting a theoretical maximum output of little less than 30 per second. More than likely I'm getting an actual of around 20 per second, which is what this would end up needing. So I just noticed that one of the power nubs is broken, and I'm sad now. So I'll fix that in a second. We only need technically 0.15, and I will explain that part of the spreadsheet here real quick. So over here, obviously we have everything that we need. So graviton lenses and all of that good stuff, you know, good as new. And then this code cell specifically is a little bit more intricate than some of the other code cells that I've been doing for you guys. Oh dear. Control Z on that real fast. So everything else is basically just a ratio. So equals whatever times whatever in order to actually get it to work in accordance with the Wikipedia and the recipe. This one I have a little note here. Computes the exact number of graviton lenses required per second, and then rounds up to the nearest whole number for simplicity and to ensure the system never runs out of lenses. So technically, without the roundup command, this is only 0.25. So we really only need less than 1, and I have it computing at 1 per second. And that eventually, through that 1 per second, will give us 30 per second of these with 150 ray receivers. So that's what we have to figure out next. How the heck do we place 150 ray receivers so that we can run a line of graviton lenses through them? And there are probably more efficient designs for this that exist out there on the internet. I mentioned Nilaus earlier in the video, and I know for a fact that he has one because I experimented with it. Where is it? There it is. Critical photon 60. So this is Nilaus's blueprint for 60 critical photons per second. 186 ray receivers with graviton lenses, so that's his way of doing it. That's what he decided to do for it. I'm gonna do my own thing because I like to do my own thing, and I feel like it's only right for me to do my own thing rather than to copy another YouTuber's build. But obviously that's gonna take out the graviton lenses, and then they're gonna need to go in to each one of these, and that is going to be a pain in the butt to actually maneuver through 150 of these godforsaken machines. So, are we gonna figure it out? Absolutely. Is it gonna be a pain in my butt? Also, absolutely. So I'm essentially going to do what I've just done here 150 times. That was 8. So 142 more to go. I'll be back in a second and show you guys the finished build for that loveliness. I just realized something very significant, which is making me start all over. Splitters. Ray receivers have one input and one output. That means that you cannot simply pass through our lovely graviton lenses. We need to individually supply each station with graviton lenses. So I am going to take some inspiration from Nilaus's build, and I'm just going to see how the heck did he split it. And it looks like the way that he split it is he sent it down a central column which split into rings, and then the rings fed it to the ray receivers, and the ray receivers fed their photons outward. So I'm going to take a little bit of advice out of that book and figure it out from there. I'll be back again. It's done. This took me like, I don't know, I've gone through 2 episodes of a TV show on Netflix, so it's taken me like at least an hour and a half to place all of it. And it's a monster of a blueprint, to say the absolute least. This thing is absolutely monstrous. 153, almost 4,000 belts, logic station, 157 of these wonderful things, the splitters, all to get 30 critical photons per second, roughly. And it requires 0.25 parenthesis roughly 1 graviton lens. And we will go on ahead and make that the critical photon and save the blueprint. Now, all we have to do is set this to demand. If the game would unfreeze for me, please, that would be nice. Demand. And now we will see the true cost to our Dyson sphere, which currently is at 54% satisfaction despite making 9.27 gigawatts of power at this moment in time. More than halfway done on the actual small carrier rocket portion of things, actually a little over exactly halfway done, and barely even started on the actual shell pieces, which is why I had a couple of blueprints actually displaying it and shooting sails. But yeah, that's great. Now, the wonderful thing about these graviton lenses is the fact that not only do they increase the max output by 100%, but they also have the... let me open up my research tab. The planetary ionosphere utilization, which also extends to the top of the atmosphere, allows more time to receive high gamma rays in the day-night cycle, improving continuous work progress, which is fantastic and quite literally perfect. We just need the graviton lenses to actually make their way through everything, and they will over time. Where are they? They are here. So they're working. They'll be fine eventually. And for right now, this is done. So I will continue and finish up on the antimatter next time. Get everything set up for the warpers in between episodes, as well as harvesting the planet for them, which I have yet to do over here. I think I have also... no, I've harvested every planet at this point, because I harvested this one, I harvested this one. I have not harvested the hub world yet, but I don't really think I'm going to need to, except for maybe the coal. So yeah, that is going to be it for now. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, but without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidania, wiedersehen, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves all a fantastic rest of your day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. This video is in the bag, and I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, blueprints are linked in the description, so don't go through the same pain that I just did. Just use my blueprint for this. It's not super efficient. If you want to use Nilaus's, his are also in the descriptions of his videos. But please, don't spend an hour and a half on a project that I spent an hour and a half on. Just use my stuff. Alright. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, y'all.